Hi, I'm Pat. Okay, this is the given information actually. It's just the cosecant of theta equals 2 square root of 3 over 3. And our job is to find theta. Okay, now, also the directions say not to use a calculator. So I did bring up some old friends though. This is some information I think I'm going to use. Not a calculator, but some of our special right triangles. These guys should look familiar to you. And this is how I would end up getting my answer for theta, is to start, let's look at cosecant of theta in general. And in general, what I mean is think about your adjacents, your opposites, your hypotenuses. What is cosecant in terms of those? The hypotenuse over the opposite. Let's start with that piece of information, which you should know in terms of your six trig functions, any of them. You can express as adjacents, opposites, and hypotenuses, okay? All right, and so now then what I can see is that the hypotenuse, the numerator of my fraction, I'm supposed to have a 2 times the square root of 3. And the opposite, the bottom of my fraction, the denominator, I'm supposed to have a 3. So I'm going to look at these two familiar triangles of mine and see, well, neither hypotenuse is what I want. Neither one of them is this numerator of 2 times the square root of 3, okay? But I'm leaning more towards this top guy, the 30, 60, 90 triangle, because there is a square root of 3 involved, and there is a square root of 3 involved, okay? Now, back to the fact that the hypotenuse is not what I want. How about if we make it what we want? So I'm going to take this familiar friend of mine, and I'm going to multiply that hypotenuse by square root of 3. Are you allowed to just do that? No, unless you do it to the other two sides as well. So I'll also take this 1 and multiply by the square root of 3. And I'll take this square root of 3 and multiply by the square root of 3. Which in fact, let's simplify that. That's just 3. Now take a look what you've got. The hypotenuse is 2 times the square root of 3, which is what I want in my numerator. And the one side is 3, and that's what I want from my denominator. And I kind of tried to pause on that there, is that I said the one side equals 3, because now what you want to do is make sure that that side is the opposite. So I want this side to be my opposite. I want this side to be my opposite. So that's opposite the 60. That's key here, okay? So now I know that the cosecant of 60 degrees equals the hypotenuse of 2 square root of 3 divided by the opposite side, which is 3. And now looking at the statement that was given to us, and they asked us for theta, that's what I've got right here. And I've got the specific answer for theta to be 60 degrees. Okay? You have to think through these problems, but that's good. It's good to practice and remember some old stuff and then see how that's applying to these trigonometric functions that we're learning. Okay? Hope that helped. And of course, I hope you try plenty on your own.